Hi, this is Alan Cho. New to Emitter version 2.1 is a feature called XML support, which allows you to create an external XML file which has a representation of emitter elements. By saying emitter element here, I'm referring to particles, particle sources, emitters, fields, deflectors, behavior triggers, and behaviors. Alright, so in this tutorial I'm going to show you how to create your own external XML file and how to use it. Now, I've already written some code here. Let's run this code. Excuse me. And now you can see we have two particle sources at these two corners and having particles directed diagonally. Alright, what I want to do is convert this entire effect to an XML representation. So I'm going to simply trace it out. I'm going to call the emitter global .toXML, which returns an XML object. I'm going to format it. Format the XML text. So I'm going to call the XML to XML string method. Alright, so now you can see the output panel popped out. I'm going to copy this for better view and paste this in Flash Develop. Alright, so as you can see, the top node is emitter engine. This is the root with a version attribute showing the current version of the engine. And this is the particle node, which is one of the two particles objects XML representation. This is the other one. And these are the two sources I just created. As you can see, they both have a single particle with ID particle 0 and particle 1, which correspond to this particle's node's ID and this particle node's ID, particle 0 and particle 1. And this emitter node here has two ID nodes in this source node, having the ID of two sources, source 0 and source 1, which are the IDs of these two nodes here. But by looking at this particle 0 and particle 1 ID, I have no idea which particle is the one on the top left and which is the one on the top right. So in order to make it easier to understand, I want to change the IDs. To do that, all I have to do is simply use the ID property. So I'm going to change P1's ID to particle top left, and P2's ID to particle top right. S1's ID, and give it source top left, and this one is source top right. Okay, and I'm gonna finally just change this ID to my emitter. Alright, and run this code again. Now we get this XML representation. Okay, so as you can see, this first particle's ID is the one on the top right, and this is the one on the top left. This is the source on the top right, and this is the source on the top left. Okay, so I'm going to save this as an external XML file right next to my FLA file. I'm going to name it my xml.xml. Alright, that's good. Now switch back to Flash, and I can actually get rid of these. And I'm going to use a URL loader to load the external XML file. So I'm going to type var loader, file loader, URL loader, new URL loader, and add an event listener to listen the event complete, and call the listener name done, and begin the loading. New URL request, my xml.xml. Okay, now is function done. Oh, and also I'm going to create a emitter variable to hold the emitter's reference. Okay, after the loading, I'm going to parse the XML file. So I'm gonna call the emitter globals parse XML method and convert the loader's data into an XML object. Alright, so after this function call, the emitter global actually creates the 5 objects we just specified in the XML file, which are 2 particles, 2 sources, and 1 emitter. To obtain the reference of the emitter, I'm going to use its ID. So I'm going to type emitter equals emitter global dot get emitter by ID. And the ID I just gave the emitter is my emitter. Okay, and I'm going to add this emitter to the stage and begin continuously calling its step method at event listener. Enter frame mirror.step. Okay, let's test the movie. As you can see, the effect we just previously created are reconstructed from the external XML file. And more than this, the external XML file actually has an advantage of flexibility. Every time if you want to tweak some parameters, you don't have to change the code and recompile it. All I have to do is change this XML file and run the Swift file again without having to recompile. So to show this, I'm going to move the source to the center of the stage. Okay, so these are the 2 source nodes. I'm going to change the X and Y to 300, 200, and 300, oops, not 300, 320, and 200. Now save it, and reopen the Swift file. Oops, it's using Flash Player 9, how come? Oh, sorry, allow me to reach the Flash Player 10. I used the Flash Player which comes with the Flex SDK. Runtimes Player 10 Win. Okay, here's the Flash Player. Open it and drag this XML Swift into this. Alright, so as you can see, I didn't do any recompilation, but I did only simply change the XML file. And when I reopen the Swift file, you can see the sources are moved to the center of the stage. Alright, so this is how you can use the external XML file feature.